because we have a small amount of growing room, I bought this window plant starting thing. It has, you know, the cells, and then it had the humidity dome and things on it. I bought it, I think I bought it at Menards, and it fits in our window really, really nicely. And so I chose to start some of my cooler weather plants over there because they had plenty of sunlight, but and of course it's warm in our house, but they didn't need like a heat mat and things like that. So what I grew was Butter Crunch lettuce. Butter Crunch is our favorite lettuce. I've grown several different varieties. I've grown Merlot and things like that. My husband doesn't tend to like the red kind of lettuces, so most of the lettuce I'm growing will be for us. I will probably, as I plant them out and I have extras, I will probably put them in some bigger pots and also put those with our plant starts for sale. I have started a little bit of spinach. I do have 2 cells that didn't germinate for whatever reason in this one, and only like half of them on this one. Now, my seeds were a little older. I've had them for probably 2 or 3 years, so that's kind of to be expected sometimes. Or it could have just been a number of reasons. Who knows, right? But anyway, I still think I have plenty of spinach for us, so that's fine. I also started 2 different types of kale. I started the Dazzling Blue, and then I will show you the other one so I don't butcher the name. The Nero D, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I started that one. It's kind of like a dinosaur kind of kale. None of them came up on that one, but the Dazzling Blue is doing really well. I'll show you that seed packet. So again, from Baker Creek. Also not this year. This one was a last year seed packet. If you didn't know, seed companies are required to put a sell by date on their packets, but they are still good for years. I've seen videos of them taking like coffee cans of old seeds and starting them. Your germination will often, the cat needs out. One moment. Okay, not that we live by the cat's rules, but yeah, here we are. So anyway, I was saying, I have seen people that have used old seeds, and your germination rate might not be as good, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it's really neat when somebody finds like really old seeds from like their grandparents, and they start them, and they're able to continue those varieties and things. So I think that's really neat. So that is where we're at. I am probably going to, since these have not germinated and they've had plenty of time to, I am probably going to replant some things in there. I have some other cooler weather things that I want to start, some cabbage and some things like that. So I may end up taking over those cells and replanting something there, because yeah, that's what we do. So speaking of the cooler weather, like I said, the lettuce is Butter Crunch. That's kind of our favorite. The cabbage I am going to start. I'm also not an expert on cabbage. I've never grown cabbage. Cabbage is one of those things that I've been kind of a little nervous to grow, because you're one and done, right? And so when I have raised beds, or before we moved to the ranch, when I had a small garden in town, I didn't have a lot of room, so I didn't want to risk space for a plant that could or couldn't produce, and then if it does produce, that's all you get, like that's it. And then if you got cabbage worms, cabbage moths, things like that, which are common, then you lost it. That you didn't get it. So that being said, I think they're a beautiful plant, and so I'm really excited to grow it. And you know what? if we get cabbage moss, if we get cabbage, worms and things, if something eats it, it's fine because my rabbits love cabbage. And so if I grow it and we don't get it, it will not be to waste because the rabbits will eat it. So this is what I chose. I looked at a lot of the different types on the Baker Creek website. And for whatever reason, that's the one I chose. So hopefully it's a good variety. You tell me in the comments. Is there another one that I should have grown? We shall see. We shall see. But that is the cabbage I am going to grow. I also bought, I bought these at our box store, some Brussels sprouts. The variety is Catskill. I don't again know anything about Brussels sprouts except that I like Brussels sprouts. And so, so that's another new to me thing. We're going to try it out, see how we like it. Again, you leave me your comments of your favorite varieties so I know what to choose next time. All right, moving on, we are going to grow Market More cucumbers. We've grown these for many years. These are our favorite. Market More 76 is like the staple cucumber, right? I feel like it is for a lot of reasons. We make a lot of pickles. We don't actually eat a lot of fresh slicing cucumbers, which probably surprises people that I chose the Market More every year, because there are dill varieties of cucumbers that are typically more known for being pickling cucumbers, but these are just so dang prolific. Like, you can pick them twice a day, I swear. And if you miss them, they're big, right? So for that reason and that reason alone, I decided to grow once again the Market More. Maybe I'm just trying to, another thing that I'm experimenting with a few varieties of things, but the things I know, and I'm staying with that, just because we have had some garden failures in the last couple years with our soil and things. And so I know I can grow a good garden. I've grown a good garden. It's just moving to this new, location and trying to get the soil right and everything. Sometimes you just need a win, right? And we were able to grow some Market More cucumbers last year and had a really good harvest, made a whole lot of pickles. My son and my husband are still enjoying those, and so we're gonna do those again. That's probably going to be a staple unless y'all tell me something different and I try it and I just think those are the best cucumbers and pickles ever. They'll probably be in my garden forever. We shall see. Another new thing I'm going to grow today is the Chinese red noodle bean. I'm growing these for a couple of reasons. One, they're just, is that not fun? Like, does that not just look like a lot of fun? Those giant beans. And we are going to have these raised beds, and I'm going to have trellises, like cattle panels, from one bed to another. So it's basically going to make this long tunnel. And I am excited about these because I think that these will grow on that trellis and be really cool looking. And so that is one of the reasons. I have heard that these make a better kind of fried green bean, where you saute it instead of like boiling it or canning it. These make a better like kind of sauteed green bean, and that's how we like our green beans. That's our favorite way. I like green beans all the ways. any way you can plan it, but my husband prefers it when I saute it, and so that is one of the reasons we're going to try that. I am probably also going to, I did pick up a Burpee just garden bean. This is the Burpee Stringless Green Pod. That's all it says on that one. They're pretty inexpensive for quite a few bean seeds. So I'm probably going to plant some of those just to have some. All right, moving on. I am going to be starting some radish seeds. I picked up these Cherry Giant. I think I have another variety around here that I had purchased maybe last year and didn't try. I'm not sure where it went. But when I was, standing at the box store and reading all of the reading the backs of the seed packets. And by the way, like, kudos to all the seed companies that put great information on the back of seed packets, because not all of them do. But those of you that do, that's fantastic. So as I was reading, this one is just kind of what stood out to me. It's a bigger radish, and so I have grown radishes before. Funny kind of story. I grew radishes last year, the year before last, because I thought my husband liked them in salad. I don't, but I thought, and he's like, I don't like radishes in salad. I'm like, well, you eat them like at your mom's house, like, and he's like, well, that's just because she has them in there, but I don't like them. And so I'm like, oh, but I do want to experiment. I have never actually roasted radishes. I've heard that they're a really good substitute for like roasted potatoes and things. But I've just never done it. So I want to try it. So we're going to grow us some. So I thought for that reason, I chose the Cherry Giant. I thought that maybe a bigger, radish might be easier to roast. So for that reason, I chose that. I am going to be growing several different types of herbs. I've started a few. They're not very big yet, but these are just some that I've grown in the past and really liked. Japanese parsley. I've grown that. I really like that. Basil, Genovese basil is probably my favorite basil. I like all basil. I love basil. And basil is like the first herb that like hooked me on growing my own herbs, because for whatever reason, dried basil and we eat it fresh too, but we dry it. I put it in my dehydrator. Has a completely different flavor than store-bought dried basil. It just does. And so it will just walking by it smells up the whole garden. I really love it. It is prolific, and it is forgiving. It's not very fussy, which is good for a gardener like me, that I'm like, you're going to need to have the will to live. And so I really like it, because you can just go out and you can, sometimes in the middle of the summer when I'm kind of done, when it's hot and I'm just like brutally cutting back things, it doesn't matter. I can cut that sucker down to hardly anything, and then 2 days later it's back. So for that reason, Genovese basil is one of my favorite varieties. Again, if I know a lot about a variety, I'll tell you. If I don't, I won't. The parsley, I have grown some flat parsley, some Italian parsley. The parsley has done really well. It's from decently for us. I am looking for, and if you know of a variety, let me know, because I want to dry it. I want it to be prolific. I feel like a lot of the parsley that I've gotten has kind of it gets like long, kind of like cilantro stems, but there's just not a lot there to dry. It doesn't get. Maybe I just need to plant more. I don't know. But we're going to try this and go from there. Dill, I am going to grow some dill. I've grown some dill before. I never had dill like ready when I had my cucumbers ready. So that's one thing I'm going to try to do this year. They're not always ready at the same time. So if they're not, I'm going to dry this and use it for my cucumbers next year. The dill, this is Mammoth Long Island. Again, I know nothing about the variety of that. I just it is an heirloom variety, and and I think it'll work okay. If you have a favorite dill variety, let me know, because I'd love to know that. I am going to grow some oregano. This just says oregano. This is Greek oregano on the package, is what it says. So that's what I'm going to grow again for oregano. I might grow some cilantro. I have grown cilantro in the past and done really well. I think I still have some cilantro. Some dried cilantro. We don't use it a lot. I have a few recipes that use it. I put basil on everything, y'all. Like, I use nothing like salt and garlic powder. I use a lot of basil. So I'm not, but I don't use a lot of cilantro, just occasionally here and there. So I will be growing some of that. Some things I want to try. I've never grown carrots before. I don't know. I don't know why I've been a little nervous to grow carrots. I don't think that they're that hard from what I've read. I don't know. I have 3 different varieties here. I got a free seed packet this year from Baker Creek. It is it's like a half long, a Davender's 126 half long. It looks like a pretty chunky carrot, which is good. This is another like chunky kind of carrot. This is just, I bought these at Menards. They were 59 cents a pack. And then these burpee ones, these are a kaleidoscope blend of beautiful different colors of carrots. I thought those would be nice. I think I'm going to do the chunkier carrots because we do like roasted carrots. So I thought the thicker carrots would be good for slicing. But I think that the different colors of carrots will be really, really beautiful in the garden. Other things I'm growing in the garden, I am going to grow some flowers and some things for fall. I also have some onions I'm planting and things like that. So when it comes to flowers, we'll go over those real quick. I am growing some zinnias. I saved my seeds from my zinnia plants last year, and so I don't remember the varieties and different things that I had. I just picked my biggest, most beautiful like colors that I liked, and I saved those seeds. You're not guaranteed that it's going to be the same color or whatever next year, but I have 2 or 3 of these packets of seeds that I saved from that. I also bought a new one that is called candy cane zinnia. Anybody that knows me knows I love all things Christmas, and so when I saw a variety that was called candy cane, I had to have it for my garden. And they are starting to come up. They're about this tall. Let me get them. So these are my zinnia seeds. These are my sunflower seeds. I'm probably going to direct sow sunflowers, but I wanted to have a couple that I started from seed just to see which did better. I think I direct sowed them last time I grew them. I haven't grown them since we moved to the farm. I grew them when we lived in town, and I loved them. Jacob's grandma used to grow sunflowers, and so I really want them in my garden. You know, sometimes there's things in the garden that you grow for sentimental reasons. Sunflowers are not only because they're beautiful, but they remind me of Mama. And so I want sunflowers in my garden, and so I don't know if they're gonna make it. They really took off. Also, I might have forgot that I had planted sunflowers in one and then planted snapdragons, so that happened. But anyway, my zinnias are doing really well. The candy cane ones had a really great germination rate. Mine that I saved seeds from, they either had an okay hatch rate, like 2 of the 3 rows all germinated. So either something happened on that 3rd row, or I forgot to plant it. That, I'm just saying it could have happened. Now, I don't know. Now, I did also plant some yarrow, and it did not germinate. So I'll show you those seeds. So I planted this yarrow. It didn't germinate, so I'm going to have to read on it. It is a couple years old. It is a 2023 seed. I don't think that would have made much difference. How I stored them could have. I don't know. Anyway, it's okay. If it doesn't germinate, that's okay. And then I also did plant some snapdragon seeds. I love snapdragons. I think that they're really, really pretty. Some things I'm going to be planting in the fall, we'll talk more about that later on, is I am going to be growing some more pumpkins. Last year I grew some jack-o'-lantern pumpkins and these are Cinderella pumpkins. This is the variety I grew last year. They were beautiful. And I grew some Jack B. Littles and those were fun. So I'll probably grow some pumpkins this year. Oh, I forgot to tell you the varieties of the sunflowers that I have started so far, and then I'll probably grow in is the Mammoth Russian sunflower and the giant gray stone stripe, giant gray stripe. So those are just some cheap seeds that I had. So other than that, a few other like little things that are going to be in my garden. I am going to grow some more birdhouse gourds. I'm going to be doing a video, I think it'll be the next video, where I show you my birdhouse gourds from last year and what I'm going to do with those. My dad always grew birdhouse gourds, and again, it's one of those sentimental things, plus they're really fun to grow. So I'm going to grow some birdhouse gourds. I am going to grow some marigolds, some other flowers, things like that. I have lavender as a perennial outside. So yeah, one more thing I will show you I am growing some hyacinths. They smell so these I actually started a little early. I was trying to have them ready for around Mother's Day. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take. So I have two of these that are, but that's okay. They make my whole living room smell like spring. They are my favorite springtime bulb because they just smell so beautiful. And so I am growing some of those. We're going to have some of those available. But yeah, some other just flowers and things like that we're going to grow. But I cannot wait to bring you along for this year's garden season to show you how it goes. Does it go any better this year? Because, well, it can't get much worse than the last couple of years. So I've got high hopes. I have high hopes, and I can't wait to bring you along for the journey. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us here on the ranch today. I hope you'll join. I hope you'll subscribe and visit us and follow our journey through this year's garden season. Bye, friends. I'll see you next time.